WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and our website, www.wvtcdetroit.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users.
Hey y'all, this is Larry Whitfield. Welcome to Sunday Throwbacks, right here on WVTC Detroit. On today's show, it is our hope that you will enjoy great music from past and present, that you will be impacted by a throwback moment. So listen, call a neighbor, call a friend, call somebody. Let them know Sunday Throwbacks is on. Let's go. It's Sunday. Sunday Throwbacks. Hey y'all, what's up everybody? Look at this one. You know what? There's always little innuendos that's going on before the show. But we want to welcome everybody to Sunday Throwback. I am your host, Larry Whitfield, and this is Elder Val Thomas. How are you?
I am great.
How was your weekend?
Sunday. Oh, my Lord. My weekend was busy.
Yeah.
My granddaughter slipped in town for my daughter's birthday.
She's here?
How
long is she here?
She's here until
Is she watching?
Tuesday. I just, put her in there. She's here until Tuesday.
Granddaughter?
Yes. Hey,
Hey.
Trin.
God
And I
bless
think
you.
she played this morning. And I cooked. I want to tell everybody what I cooked. Can I tell everybody? I made oxtails, gravy, rice, dressing, turkey, yams, black-eyed peas, greens. I'm done. And I bought some chicken from Kroger just to, throw something else in
Kroger
there.
got good chicken. And
They have good chicken, really good chicken.
But listen, hungry. Welcome to the show, everybody. Listen, we have a great show today. I want to first call him my good friend and brother, but he is an educator. His name is, I'm going to call him Doctor. Now, I'm going to call him Doctor because anytime you're dealing with children
yes, sir,
on an everyday basis, and you have to deal with each personality and each character individually.
Yes.
And there are hundreds of them that you're dealing with all day. You are a doctor. You're a surgeon. So I'm going to say, I'm calling him Doctor until he have that paperwork. And he may even have the paperwork. Let's wait and see. But this is Dr. James K. Miller. He is an assistant principal in the Southfield School District, Levy Middle School. He is going to be our guest today.
Yay.
We are talking about our children. As you know, school started back in September. We want to know what has been going on since that time, and we're going to be talking to him. So I need you all. Educators, I know we got a lot of educators that we know. I need you to get the teachers on. I need you to get the parents on. I need you all to like and share if you're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I need you all to click that like and share button and let somebody know that Sunday Throwbacks is on. I'm so excited. Before we get to it real quick, I want to say happy birthday to my sister-in-law, Sharice Mosley. I want to say happy birthday to my brother-in-law, John Bailey. I want to give an official congratulations again to Pastor Jacqueline Nelson, who is now pastor of Davison Baptist Church. She is also a part of our Philip Friday family. So we are so excited for that. And we are praying for the family of Elder Timothy died. He is Elder Lee Yari's brother. We want to keep them in prayer during this time. But let's get right to it. I want to open up with this song. My friend and brother, Howard Webb, Elder Howard Webb, he's also Dean of Culture at a school in the Detroit School District. He wrote this song. He's a songwriter. Also, our guest is a rapper too, so maybe I'll have to do a little something.
Let's do
but
it.
This song here, When I Become We, this is a new song that was just released. We're going to play that, and when we come back, y'all, our guests will be here. Please like and share. This is, what is
Sunday.
this?
Throwback.
We'll be right back, everybody.
Divided we're weak, yeah, but together we're stronger. I'm never alone. Ooh, I've got my sister and my brother. I need you, you need me. Let's come together and for we, on and on, we will rise as family. When I become a we, what a better place this world will be for you and me. When I become a we, what a better place this world will be for you and me. When I become a we, love is the answer to unite the common man. Although we are different, we can unite hand in hand. Together we will rise as a family. Yeah. What a better place we need for you and me. When I become a we, you and me. Together we can. When I become a we, what a better place. What a better place. You and me. When I become a we,
Make this world a better place when
Better.
I become we.
Yes.
Again, shout out to Elder Howard Webb. He's a Dean of Culture. I forget what school, but I know it's in Detroit. But he's been a part of that whole education system for a number of years. But he's also a songwriter, and he just released that, so you can get it at all of your digital outlets. Congratulations, Howard Webb. I also want to give a quick shout out to Pastor Derek Jones of Free Life Temple. His wife, Lady Claire Jones, she's also an educator. We got some educators on. We got some educators on because we got an educator between us.
Yeah.
So let's get him on.
Let's do it.
Yes, doctor.
Right.
See,
Right.
you know I called you doctor, right?
Yes, yeah, I heard in the back.
You know why?
Receive.
Yes, this is James K. Miller. He is the assistant principal of Levy.
Levy Middle
I
School.
said Levy.
Yes.
You know, like Lasher. You know how we do.
The Detroit thing.
My station owner looking at me like, okay.
Do we
So,
really?
yeah.
But we do.
Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Man.
Pleased to be here. I'm honored to be here. actually.
Yes.
Honored.
I'm so excited and humbled to have you with us, man. I wanted to get you on because you have been very instrumental. And I'm a crybaby, but I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
But you've been very instrumental when you was in university prep.
Yes.
As the dean of culture at the middle school.
Yes, sir.
My two children, Dorian and Jordan, and I believe they're watching now, very instrumental in their life.
Oh, yeah.
Very instrumental in their life. And you weren't just a person that just said, hey, what are you doing in the hallway?
Yeah.
Dean of culture is bigger than that.
Okay. Yes.
Much bigger than that. I mean, you was a person that really gave life lessons.
Yes.
And I kind of want you, and I know you are assistant principal now, but I kind of want you to talk about that dean of culture position because it's such a critical position. It's more than just get to your class.
Right.
Yeah,
And I kind of want you to touch on that a little
Yeah,
bit.
exactly. I'm not a crybaby, but I'm gonna try not to. I was in the back, but I was like, okay, let me make sure I keep my composure because I saw my sister and my brother-in-law made some comments. But I want to most definitely say thank you again for you all having me here. And Larry, I know you may not remember, I believe I first encountered at UPrep when I was the dean. I think I had a situation with Dorian. And Dorian, how you doing? I know you're listening.
Yeah.
Where she kind of got into a situation, and I had to make a phone call home, and as a dean, you don't like making those phone calls, especially when I think you and I had already met, and already had some relationships because Larry was we had an organization at the school called Fearless Fathers.
Fearless Fathers, yes, sir.
Aisha Scott, and her name is Aisha Green. She had actually started that before I came aboard. And when I came aboard, she handed it off to me. But Larry was already, in the school, helping students coming in and out of the car during arrival time, opening the doors, letting them in the classroom.
Yes.
But, I don't remember the situation, but Dorian, I think she got into something and I had to make the call. Like, I got to give her a couple of days home.
Right.
Because of that.
Oh, my goodness.
And we were like, well, I heard that this and that. And I'm like, I understand, but... at this time, sometimes it's not always, and when I would call home, it's not necessarily a suspension. It's more, just need a little break. Break home for a minute. Yeah. But as the dean of culture at University Prep, actually I started at UPrep around 2004. I was a teacher at first. And then I think I was a teacher there for like maybe 8 years. I was a lead teacher as well, floor lead. And then I transitioned to a district in Detroit. It was the EAA at the time that taken over some of the Detroit schools. And then I actually started my own consulting business at that time. And then I came back to UPrep as the dean.
Wow.
Which I really enjoyed that position because as you mentioned, as the dean, it wasn't just I'm calling home and I'm suspending students. I actually started programs. Okay. So at UPrep, they had this homeroom, but it was actually called Crew. And Crew was like the beginning of the day where students sit around in a circle and the Crew teacher will engage them in conversation about their weekend, just about what goes on in life. And it was really that way of bridging, home and school, the real world to school. But I was the individual that would do the Crew plans for the week and for the month. So each month we'll have a word for the month. And I would develop the plans Monday through Friday on what the teachers were actually kind of not necessarily teach the students, but I just give an overall thing of what they should do and then let the teachers kind of create that And then at the end of the month, they'll display like a video or performance. But within that, I wanted them to really, build that relationship with the students. And it was during COVID, really, I had to take over. And your daughter, Jordan, she was the one in the crew. We had a teacher that left during COVID. We were online, and I had to actually take over. Not that I had to, but I wanted to, really. I became the crew leader. So I was the crew leader and the dean during COVID, doing the virtual learning. And I would wake up in the morning, and I would be real hype in the morning. My wife would even be mad, like, too loud in the morning. We were at home at this time, so hey, I have to wake them up in the morning. So, but once again, that just being the dean of culture, it was just creating the overall school culture for the school. And my overall thing was to build relationships and to get our students to understand more about their history, about how to, love one another, how to build community as well.
Let me ask you this, and I'm a pitch it over to Elder Val. How? Because when COVID hit, I mean, I remember Jacqueline, my daughter. She's at Kentucky State now. Okay, this is her last year, but the class of 2020 didn't get anything. They didn't get prom. They didn't get homecoming. None of that. They didn't get any of that. As a matter of fact, their what do you call that? Graduation was handed to them from the car. We had to stay in the car. We couldn't get out. And on top of that, we had to keep our mask on.
That is all correct.
You know what I'm saying? They had their cap and gown on in the car. I mean, it was, everything was such a smother. But I want to ask you, because the district or the country pretty much had to still teach during COVID. How difficult was that in the district that you were in at the time to put something together to do daily classes online for the next, year?
Year and a half.
Year and a half. How difficult was that?
Yeah, it was very difficult. My son actually graduated in 2020, my oldest son. So he also was, he didn't get anything, no prom. The graduation, it was a walk through, so to speak. You grabbed your diploma, and we just kept
out of there.
And kept walking. But I would say at UPrep, one thing that I admired about the school, and going back to what I mentioned about our homeroom classes, which we call crew, we were already building relationships, and we already had things that were instilled in the school for us activities, and not just, activities where, we're just playing games, but activities that were connected to who they are as individuals. But when it hit in 2020, I believe it was March, we had to make that quick pivot to go online. That homeroom piece, that crew piece really carried us through, most definitely through those first couple of months from March into June. And then that following year, we just picked it up and continued to go with it. But, once again, online, we would have, students, and that was all new for everyone. So it's like, okay, what are we looking online, and what are we supposed to do? They're at home, they're in their bed still. And, so it's like, how can we actually continue to make the learning exciting? So once again, if I take, Jordan's crew, because I was that crew leader at the time for them, I would have them write poetries, create videos. And now we're almost in this age now, as far as everything you see on your phones, you can make a video on your phone now.
Right.
Even to the point where it's AI, we're at this point now. But we were able to make, it's called Flipgrid, like make videos. So students can actually do things at home, and then they can, post it, to our school platform or online. And that's the way we kept things going.
The various softwares like Canvas.
Canvas, so to speak. Now, of course, it wasn't necessarily academic based, but as time went on that following year, we got more into the academics, and we kind of used, some of the different platforms and to bridge the academics with it. So they were able to post, now it was called Schoology, which a lot of, the students, the different districts use, where now you turn everything online.
Right.
You submit all your work online now. So a lot of good things came out of that. We know it was a lot of terrible things that happened during COVID, but I can say some good things happened as well to where you can now, a lot of podcasts, you know, came about. A lot of our students were able to learn how to broadcast, you know, during those years as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. And then when school started back, you know, I remember because I was always up at the school assistant.
Yes.
And I remember when school started back and the students were able to come back, it was this big thermostat gun that y'all gave me that that when a bunch of students came in one time, you would point this gun and it would be like shooting at everybody taking their temperature.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, hey, oh, what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
103. You can't call your parents, tell them to pick you up.
Right. It was crazy.
Yes, it was.
Go ahead,
Yes, it was.
Isabel.
Well, you know what? I love the word culture. And I want to talk about it from the standpoint of Black culture and schooling and education, because in our culture, we had PTA. My mom was the president often.
Oh, yeah.
And she made no surprise visits, meaning we knew she would.
Yes.
We just didn't know when, and she'd show up quite a bit. And can you tell me what is expected where it relates to not just the student, not just the teacher? Let me first of all applaud. I always wanted to be a teacher. Teaching and music, sir. You are not 1 and 2. You're 1A, 1B with me. I love them both.
Yes.
But what we look at, what we're expecting of teachers, we're looking at what we expect of students. Can we talk about what's expected of parents so that there is a success?
That's good.
Yes. Well, let's kind of go back. You mentioned about your mom. My mother was also a member of the PTA as well, and she would make pop up at the school
You get busted
a lot
too.
of times. Oh yes, I'll make sure I'm sitting there. You know, she'll come to the classroom window and you're like, hey, whose mother is that? And like,
Right.
who's ever kind of doing their work? That's your mother,
Right.
But yes, parenting is very important, and as it relates to overall culture, it's like all stakeholders, you know, are important. So you have, you know, the teacher, student, and then most definitely the parent. So I really believe that parenting it plays that intricate part in, of course, the as it relates to the school, making that connection, and getting parents to understand, you know, when your student comes to school, now they are in an environment with other individuals. It's not the household anymore.
Right.
You know, in your household, you know, at any given, you know, school, you have, I don't know, 200 or more students. You know, and of course, you know, some schools have more, but in the household, you know, you don't have 200 individuals in the household. Maybe, you know, depending on the household, but 5, 6, 7, 8, you know, but when you go into the school building, you have to understand the way that, I don't want to just say rules, but procedures. There are procedures that go along with having individuals in one space together at one time. So in understanding that, I think if parents understood that a little bit more, and we have, excellent parents, but I understand that when you don't always know what's going on in the school, and sometimes when you receive phone calls, sometimes you're thinking it's always
Right.
a bad
I'm
phone
like, what's
call.
going on? Because they know.
Yeah.
Why am I getting a call?
But the overall culture, as it relates to parents, we now that COVID is 2 years removed now, and it took some time right after you know COVID for parents to come back in the building. But now I know all schools are inviting parents back into the building, but inviting them back to where we can, you know, bridge the gap.
Well, not only that, not only back into the building. Can we do something at home before we get to the building? What are we saying before they get to the building? Because now teaching is honestly for me, it's frightening. Because I didn't remember teaching being that way. Now it's, you know, they're popping videos of teachers and students in altercations and this, that, and the other. But again, I'm looking for, okay, Mama, what are you saying before they leave?
Yeah.
You know.
So once again, it starts at home. You know, like the overall saying is, your first teacher really is mama. Is mom and dad. But of course, we know mom's first, the first teacher. And those early years are very, very important. Those preschool years. And I often tell, you know, students, you know, the first rule we all, you know, learned when we were when we first went off to school, keep your hands to yourself.
Keep your hands to yourself. That's right.
You know, so parents just teaching those, you know, those skills when their child is young. Keep your hands to yourself. Make sure you're following directions. You're paying attention.
Work well with others.
Right.
Yes,
Remember
work
that
well
on the
with
report
others.
card?
And even I think one important piece, and this is what my wife and I, we pride ourselves on doing this, sitting down to eat together.
Oh, wow.
Having,
That's so long.
That's good.
Having, you know,
Y'all hear that?
Breakfast,
Right,
breakfast, dinner.
Cell phones in
Yes.
different rooms and a plate of food.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. To have, because building those relationships.
Yeah.
And having those conversations with, you know, with your children at home. So when they go off to school, that can carry over as well.
With them.
Especially while they're young, always having a routine. You know, it's time to, you know, your bedtime, the time that you get up, the time that you put the cell phone away, the time that the video games, put that away.
Yeah.
But then the fun time as well.
Yes.
You know, so I think that's very important. So around the time they get to middle school, they understand that, because if you get to middle school, it's no more just sitting in the classroom.
Right.
Just one classroom. Now you're moving from class to class to
Yes.
class.
Exactly.
And then most definitely high school.
Yeah.
You know, it's important.
Yep.
But overall, I think really just having that family time at home is very important. That's whatever the family dynamic is.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, yes.
That's great. Listen, I want to do this because I want to get to you being an assistant principal. It has really been a blessed journey for you to move from where you were to where you're at now.
Yes.
But before we get that, I want to play this clip because, man, the students loved you. Man, and you got on them. You told them to keep their hands to themselves. You called their parents. But at the end of the day, these students love some Mr. Miller.
All right.
They love some Mr. Miller. And I want to play this clip of some students that are just giving you tribute. They are now in their various careers. Some are in college. Some are just out doing their thing.
Excellent.
But they remember the learned lessons that they had under this man.
Mr.
So I
Miller.
want to play this clip real quick, and then we'll be right back.
No tears.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Shakari Wade, former student of the educator, Mr. Miller, that we paying homage to today.
Hi, my name is Brianna Tompkins. I'm a current senior at Spelman College, and I would say that Mr. Miller as a teacher, I would say he was very stern.
And I just appreciate you being there for the 2.5 kind of like years. Yep, 6th, 7th grade.
6th and 7th grade was the best years of my life, and that's all I have to say. 3 to 4.
Debate specifically is one of the things where Mr. Miller inspired me to do. Our first debate, I think we were in, I think it was the 7th grade, 6th or 7th grade. I can't really remember, but.
And I have to thank Mr. Miller for that, because he taught us when it comes to team, all the dislikes goes out the window. Do what you have to do to succeed. And that's a lesson that anybody can take far in life. Anybody. And life isn't always about what you want or what you prefer. It's sometimes about what you have to do to succeed.
But at the same time, Mr. Miller really made it his mission to make sure that we knew things, I would say, that were not included, like in a regular curriculum, I guess. And that just means like he spent more time teaching us about Motown and like specifically like the Atlantic slave trade. And
I think my favorite was watching Roots in 6th grade and studying and like really learning about slavery, because I didn't know anything about slavery. You know what I'm saying? It pretty much changed how I thought about certain stuff, how I acted in school. You know, I mean, I wasn't bad, but I like to do a lot of
Play
stuff.
a lot.
Yeah, I was playful. So you know, you pretty much got me together, and you know, I'm just happy to say he was my teacher.
Great man, great educator, phenomenal rapper, man.
Waiting on the savior from the sky savior. Let it be known, a lot of lies I've been told.
Mr. Miller also created a great balance of what he would call edutainment. And edutainment is basically like where you can educate someone but make it more digestible, specifically, you know, because we're children, like, but make it just more digestible in terms of like activities and stuff. So he incorporated like math games and trivia and debate.
My fondest middle school memory was when we had to do the I Know I Can speech. Play, video, performance, per se, and also when we watch Roots.
Michael Solomon.
What school you going to?
Indiana State.
My name is Daniel. I'm going to Michigan State University. DeMarco, you know, going to Michigan State for the next 4 years. Plan on playing football.
Oh, Nigel, probably going to Michigan State or Texas Southern. Plan on going to political science and pretty well.
But I thank you for everything you've done for me, everything you showed me. Even you know, taking trips to see your family in Alabama, you would still call me. And that's love. That's love, man. Like, you really was like a life coach in middle school.
Alabama.
Yeah, that last comment, and actually the clip is 4 minutes and 50 seconds to be exact. But that last clip really touched me.
Yeah,
I kind of teared up when I was doing the editing and stuff, because it was like that was a time, if I may, say, your mom made her transition.
Yes.
As Mr. Miller would say, Mama went home to be with her ancestors.
Yes.
All right.
Mom made her transition, and he was talking about at that particular time that you still called and checked on him, even though you was going through what you was going through. And I thought that was just
that actual student's name is Shakari Wade, and he lives in Texas right now. He went to Alabama State, and it really, before my mother passed, I would take him to go up to we would go visit him at school. And my mother, my roots are from in Alabama, so she always would love to hear my students. You know, my former students, like, you know, love to hear them, because my great grandfather was the first teacher and preacher in the town, opened up the first church and school in the town, Georgiana, Alabama. So I want to give shout out.
Shout out to Georgiana. Yes, absolutely. Listen, there is a couple of questions in the chat. Okay, and I want to pose them. Our station owner, Sandy Rose. She asked, what are your feelings on students and cell phones in the class?
Ooh, that's a big one right there. It's okay. So, let me go back. My feelings. I don't believe they should be in the classroom or in school. Unfortunately, we live in the times where cell phones are so expensive. We do tell our students, you know, they should not be seen or heard. But of course, you know, they're still seen and then heard. And we have to, issue, discipline, with that as it relates to that, or consequence, so to speak. But cell phones, it has become a huge issue or problem with students. And sometimes, unfortunately, like we talked about parents, it's not just the students, it's parents that are calling their students in school and texting their students. And it's becoming a huge problem. We have to sometimes let parents know, like, we have a phone in the office. But they shouldn't be in the school at all. It's a huge distraction. Some school districts have banned cell phones this school year. And I would hope that some other school districts would follow suit. And I want to say that the whole point, you can bring them. This is my philosophy. You can bring them, but they should be put away. So, for example, like Amazon, they have in different places out there, Target, I think even Home Depot, they have different places where you can lock them up. What the schools can purchase, and you can lock them up and you'll get it back at the end of the day. But cell phones, it's a huge problem for me. Once again, I don't believe in cell phones. I do take cell phones from students and I keep them at the end of the day. Some parents are okay with that, like, okay, they can turn them in, and then I give them back at the end of the day.
But there was also a time, and I just remember this from UPrep, where if a cell phone was taken, the parent had to come get it.
Had to come pick it up.
Parent had to come get it. That way we would know why the cell phone was taken. But that's a great question, Stacey.
Yeah, it is. And and now you have video. It's just so much. Yes.
We got one more One more on the chat, and I'm gonna shoot it right to you.
Okay.
From Shirley Johnson. She says, I do not have children in school at this time, but grandchildren and great-grandchildren. I heard some disturbing news about children not coming to school, and nothing is being done to see why they are not in school. What can we do to correct this?
So we well, each school should have a truancy officer that checks on when students miss so many days. I know. Well, let me kind of go back to school, Levy Middle School, where I'm the assistant principal. We track students. So if they're if they're absent, 3 or more consecutive days, we make a phone call home. Hey, what's going on? It's more of a wellness check, so to speak. Reaching out to say, is everything okay? And then if we don't hear back from the parents, we also make home visits to see hey, what's going on. So those are some things that we're doing in Southfield district. I know some other districts pretty much follow suit and do the same thing.
Yeah.
When students miss so many days, after COVID, it really has become a huge problem with students actually coming to school. But once again, those are some things that we do. We do have a truancy officer, like I mentioned, that comes once a month, and he also tracks students' attendance and makes phone calls as well. But sometimes it's a transportation issue. Some students can't, get a ride to school, even though in Southfield we have the bus transportation. But if they're not in, in the range of, being picked up by the bus.
And that route,
Exactly, that route, then, we try to, make arrangements where someone can come pick them up, of that nature, anything to get, to get them to school.
Right.
Yeah.
Great question.
Great
Shirley.
question. Yes.
Mine was, I work where I engage young people and their parents.
Okay.
I won't say where. I will.
Okay.
And when they're coming to get their learner's permit, there you have it.
There you have it.
There you have
That's
it.
it.
Yeah, I mean,
If you don't know, then you don't know.
glory, glory. I ain't telling them. And there is an issue with young man, young lady, sign your name here. What is going on with cursing? I just really, I said, listen, I tried to encourage and say, listen, I want to work for your company. I want you to be able to sign my check. And you the parents take up for the child and say, well, they don't teach it in school anymore. I said, they don't teach a lot in school anymore.
Yeah.
But if they want to learn, what's your feeling?
So that goes back to what we talked about earlier with the parents at home. So unfortunately, again, school is not the way that it used to be when we were in school. Things change. Schoolhouse rock. Yes. Conjunction.
Not the big paper.
Not the big paper.
paper.
So no more cursive writing, teaching in school. So those are, that's something that now just needs to be taught at home. And this is what I tell my students and parents as well. And hopefully everyone else can agree. Everything that we need to learn in life is not going to be taught in the school building. It's not going to be taught in the school building. So we have to kind of get out of, and I've heard some parents and some even relatives, people close to me, school to teach them that. Like,
there you go.
No.
Yes.
School is not going to teach your child how to tie their shoes. Certain things that need to come with some of those skills. Yes.
Right.
And it's becoming a huge problem. So now, when I was in the classroom, I taught cursive writing. Okay. I understood as a teacher that, just like I mentioned, that school is not going to teach students everything, but I understood that, okay, well, me as a teacher, I know some certain things that students need in the real world, so to speak. So I'm going to give that to them. Just like the video that was that you all played, you heard a young lady mention, Mr. Miller taught us some things that wasn't in the curriculum. So I went outside of the curriculum, and I think once again with teachers, educators, those that may want to come into or go into the field of education should understand that. Just open up a book and say, okay, well, this is what they want me to teach the students. I'm just going to teach that. And it's like, no. So teachers also, we play a role. Educators play a role in that as well. Well, I did have to, I did have to, break the rules, so to speak, sometimes and say, well, I'm going to teach this, even though this is not in this curriculum.
Right.
But necessary.
Yeah, but necessary.
Right.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
mark of a great teacher.
You had to pull some Coach Carter.
Yeah, hey, Coach Carter. Yes, exactly.
Listen,
exactly.
this is what I want to do. I want to get to a song and then I want to get to a break. And when we come back, let's talk about Levy. Let's talk about what you're doing at Levy and how people can get in touch with you, or maybe they want to get into the Southfield School District, and if it's the middle school or whatever.
Yes.
Let's get to that. But let's get to this song and then we'll get to a break real quick because we got to make some announcements and then we'll come back to you and talk about Levy. Everybody, this is Sunday Throwback. This is the educational segment of Sunday Throwback with Dr. James K. Miller, assistant principal of Levy Middle School. We'll be right back, everybody.
Absolutely.
Let me see you hold up the peace sign. Hey. We gotta love one another. Listen. Marvin asked the question, what's going on? Yeah. And Curtis Mayfield said that we gotta have peace. Dr. Martin Luther King told us, yeah. Hey. And we can't get Mr. Marley who wanted us to have it. What about Malcolm X who told us can't be at peace unless you have freedom? Hey. And what did Nelson Mandela say? It seems impossible until it's done. And all of these brothers was trying to help us years ago. Ain't it a shame? Ain't it a shame? Y'all, we got to get it together. Put all the hatred aside. Hey, come on, say peace and love. We got to get it together. Everybody, peace and love. Everybody, all over the world, just clap your hands. Come on, we got to do it together. Hey, clap your hands. All over the world, just sing a song. Oh, take 1 minute. Just take 1 minute. Just to get along. We all got to do it. Might as well live together. Oh, we all gotta live together. Put all the hatred aside. Put all the hate aside. Let peace and love. One more time. Hey, we can't lose peace and love. We got to get it together. Come on, all we need is peace and love. Yeah, everybody, all over the world, just clap your hands. Hey, we got to do it together. Hey, clap your hands. All over the world, just sing a song. Take 1 minute. Just take 1 minute. Just to get along. We all got to do it together. Hey, 'cause we all gotta live together. Put all the hatred aside. Put all the hate aside. Let peace and love reign just be. No one can do it alone. No, no, let's let the world know. All things are possible if you believe. We can make it this
God bless you, my brothers and sisters. This is Pastor John Hall of Rehoboth International Ministry. Listen, tune in to WVTC Detroit. Come on, check us out. Sunday Throwbacks. You don't want to miss it.
Get ready, Detroit. The Gospel Music Workshop of America, Detroit chapter presents Women Impacting the World 2024. Join us for an unforgettable concert experience featuring a powerhouse 100-voice women's choir under the direction of Evangelist Sandra Rose, along with Sheila Oden, Sherry Watson Robinson, and Teresa Youngblood. It's all happening Sunday, October 20th at 4 p.m. at the Greater Burnett Baptist Church, 16801 Schoolcraft Road. Oh, and that's not all. We're honoring some of Detroit's finest women, including Commissioner Alicia Bell, Reverend Mother Norma Jean Pender, Bishop Coletta Vaughn, and Dr. Carol Cole. With musical special guests Akita Steen and Fire. This is one concert you do not want to miss, and admission is free. A free will offering will be collected. For more information, visit gmwadetroit.org. Be there and witness women impacting the world.
Because I live in Detroit, I was able to get tuition-free college through the Detroit Promise. I feel very fortunate working with the Detroit Promise. They were able to afford me so many opportunities. I'm currently studying media production and journalism at University of Michigan Dearborn. I'm looking to take my talents further into the production industry, short films. I love working with people here, and this is where I want to be. And that's why I'm Detroit for life.
Listen, y'all, have you ever thought about college as an option after high school? Tuition costs can be upwards of $62,000 for 4 years. But with Detroit Promise, it is zero. Detroit Promise is available for every eligible Detroit high school graduate to obtain an associate's bachelor's degree or technical certificate. There is an opportunity available to every Detroit high school graduate. Debt-free, first-generation college at no cost to you, no financial burden to the family. Talk to your school counselor. Listen, this is a tuition-free. That's the Detroit Promise. Enroll today at detroitmi.gov/Detroit for Life or call 313-596-0373. Again, that's detroitmi.gov/Detroit for Life or call 313-596-0373. And this is only in Detroit. Yes, so excited about that. We're back. I want to say this. You are a Henry Ford High School graduate.
Henry Ford Trojans.
Yeah.
Yes, shout out to the
You
Trojans.
pursued your bachelor's degree in elementary education at Central State University. Central State
University.
Central State. That's where when you all seen that clip where he was rapping, and he is a rapper. As a matter of fact, let me put this in here real quick. He is a rapper. He has his own recording studio.
Yes, sir.
He does music production. So I'm going to real quick, if you can give us 15 seconds.
15 seconds?
15 seconds.
All right, let's see. We're beautiful, confused, soulful, misused, courageous, not courageous enough to speak truth. Lost was found, originals been around, kings and queens became clowns. America beat us down, but soon we gonna rise, survivors, we survive. I'm shocked. You surprised? I'm not. It's prophesied. We the chosen ones. But now we've chosen to die for funds. Thinking we the boss. When will we overcome? Huey, Pac, Elijah, not just Jordan or Kobe, LeBron, we Harriet, Kunta, never Toby. And even though Africa's a place we never been, we considered African Americans. They used to hang us by our neck. Show us no respect. Now they hang us by our neck. Show us no respect. We the rappers making millions. Single parent, independent women was missing our children. Now don't listen, but we brilliant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're still brilliant. With all that is going on, we're still brilliant.
To be continued.
All right.
Yeah.
Put me on the spot. I have
That's good.
Right.
Yeah.
He done went from James K. Miller to DJ K.
DJ K.
MCK.
Yeah.
Man, that is great. You are well rounded when it comes to education, because a lot of our children is into that, and there's nothing wrong with it as long as you're spitting something positive.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You're not talking about all that other stuff. I don't want to get into that, but this is, you're well rounded. So let's talk about you being assistant principal at Levy. What is going on at Levy Middle School?
So I cannot speak on Levy without going backwards a little bit. Actually, I was started substitute teaching in Southfield. I was a substitute teacher. So, and I want to kind of start there because I want to mention it doesn't matter. The old saying, it doesn't matter where you start. It's where I don't even say end because it's the journey. It doesn't matter where you start. It's just the journey that you continue to grow and move forward. But when I graduated from Central State in 1995. Bachelor's degree in education, elementary education. I didn't really want to teach. Like, I don't know. Teach. I want to be a rapper. I want to go and make millions. But I decided to become a substitute teacher just to get my feet wet a little bit, which I did, and I became the building sub at Levy Middle School. So I wasn't just your normal building sub, and this is really I learned to become a teacher at Levy. So as a substitute teacher, you move around from class to class. You can be sub for English, gym, the different subjects. So I was able to learn all of it, and I was able to touch a lot of students in the building. The principal at the time, her name was Dr. Linda Ford. So shout out to Linda Ford. She also put me in charge of the after school program. I helped coach basketball. So I was once again just being well-rounded. So fast forward to, just about 3 years ago, I became the assistant principal. So I want to give shout out to Sonia Jackson. She's the principal at Levy. And she had called me, I want to say 2022. My mother had just passed. And she had gave me a call, asked if I wanted to be the assistant principal. And of course, I had to go through the interview process. So long story short, I am the assistant principal at the school that I used to be a substitute teacher. At. So kind of 360, coming right back to where I started. But Levy, I have on our band. We have a well-renowned band at Levy. So our band has performed across the country.
Who was over the band?
Jeffrey Smith. Jeff Smith. He's the band director. So I want to give shout outs to Jeff Smith. Actually, our band performed this morning in Southfield, the Domestic Violence Walk. Wow. I don't know if you all heard about that, but every year in October, it's Domestic Violence Rally in Southfield. So our band performed there. They actually did a performance at Greater Grace Church a few Sundays ago in honor of Kamala Harris. Did that as well. We're phenomenal band. Levy is doing some phenomenal things. So those that are listening, we're always looking for community partners to come and help. Help us with the school. We always need funding. It's sad that you gotta, reach out to get funding for a school. But sports and everything, everyone's giving money to the but that's a whole nother story there too. But Levy is doing some phenomenal things. We are a school that we pride ourselves on, once again, a positive culture and environment. We don't have, some of the problems that some of the other schools around the Detroit metro area have. We don't really have some of those problems. We really run a tight ship. So I have to say, we have a dean also. His name is Tony Blankenship. So myself, the dean, and the principal, we're all on the same page. We're a tight team, and that's really what makes a school run the way that Levy runs. It starts at the top, and our vision and our mission, trickles down to the teachers and then also down to the students. We have some phenomenal things that's going on. We just sent some students to Atlanta this past week. We have what we call a house system. It's a gentleman out of Atlanta. His name is Ron Clark. We kind of adopted his house system where our students, when they come, and our teachers and our custodial staff, we all belong to a particular team. And each Friday we meet as the last hour of the day. We meet in our different houses, and we build on once again a relationship piece. We have different activities to teach our students how to get along, team building activities. So just phenomenal. I'm proud to be the assistant principal. I'm sitting in the office where I used to have to go see the assistant principal to talk to her about what's going on in the school. So phenomenal school is located on 9 Mile and Telegraph, between Telegraph and Beach.
Listen, I want to say two things, and then we're gonna I'm gonna have Val make her comments, and then I'm gonna let you give some final thoughts as we get ready to make our exit out of here. There is you got a lot of Central State people on here.
Okay, all right.
Teresa out of Lexington, Kentucky. She's with the WVTC radio family out of Lexington, Kentucky. She says that her father graduated from Central State, and somebody's great grandfather or something graduated. Janice Miller Anderson said, HBCU in the house.
That's my sister. Shout out to my sister. Yeah, she went to Wilberforce. Yes.
Also, too, Teresa said that Miss Newby, she is a 50-year educator. And she is also watching.
Yes.
A 50-year educator. Sarah Newby is watching. So God bless you. Wow. And thank you for being a part of this segment. I think it's so
important. I need to call her to have help.
Wisdom.
I'm at 25. Yeah, I'm at 25, 26, I believe.
Yeah. And
I can do 25 more.
And also, too, you mentioned something about getting these children from when they're 3-4 years old.
Yes.
So I want to give a shout out to all of the teachers in early childhood. My wife, Stacey Whitfield, she's in early childhood in the Oak Park School District. Shout out to Lessinger Early Childhood Center and many others that could be in early child. We got to get them early so that when they get to that middle school piece, we're not having such an issue. And let me say this last thing, and I'm going to shut up. My desire as a parent, even though my children are almost out of secondary school and college and everything, but my desire is that all of the districts at some point come together and share information of how because it's about the children at the end of the day. You know, and I understand the competitive part.
I was about to say that,
I understand that, and I'm not taking away from that. But at some point, I want us all to be able to share some type of information because my child is not competing against your child. We're all trying to get the same thing because there is a system that's trying to shut us out.
That awaits.
We didn't talk about
now,
that. That might be
let
part
the
two.
Truth be told. There's a system that's trying to keep us out. But that's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother segment. And my other thing is that I'm hoping at some time that the collaboration of you and Mr. Bogans and other educators, maybe we can come together and maybe do a panel. At some point and just really just talk about education, you know, as a whole.
Right. And it was excellent segue because my question was in your expertise, the most crucial age and year, and then though I know your focus is Black males, which is so necessary, the greater challenge, the girls or the boys, the most crucial age that children are to be handled, finessed, molded. What do you find there?
Asking what is the most crucial age?
Crucial age. Is that pre or is that by middle? Are we, you know what?
That's
that's
a good question. For me, honestly, I love middle school. I've taught high school, and I've taught in elementary. I love middle school because middle school, once you enter middle school, it's kind of like, it's almost like, oh, okay, I've arrived a little bit. You know, like I mentioned earlier, you're not sitting in one classroom anymore. You're not transitioning through the hallway in a straight line. You're able to, that's your glimpse into a little bit of freedom where when the bell rings, you go to your next class.
Where you going?
You know, you're in different classrooms with different teachers.
Self-responsibility.
Self-responsibility. You got to keep up. You got to open your locker now. You know, all of these different responsibilities. And, and I always tell students, and I'm laughing at myself now, like, it's not elementary school anymore. No, I'm not going to, help you with every little thing. But I would say middle school, of course, elementary school is, and, like you mentioned, preschool, that's very crucial. But those are, teaching students how to get along with those particular things. Now when they get to middle school, I love middle school, especially when I was in the classroom, because I was able to, their brains are like a sponge, their minds, and you can really hit them with a lot of things. And they're like, oh man, the first that I've ever heard of this. The first time I've ever heard of that. And I taught, social studies in English. So really, once again, going back to the cursive writing, you're only going to do this. It's no gray area. You got to learn how to write in cursive. So for me, middle school is crucial. It's very crucial. It's in the middle of high school and elementary school. You're right in the middle of your, your education career. And I know for me growing up, middle school was that. It was that wake up call for me when I went to middle school.
Absolutely. Great question.
Yeah, that was a great
question. Listen, I want to take this opportunity, man, to thank you again.
Thank you
for first of all taking care of my children in that middle school phase. Jordan, at the time that your mom made her transition, she wrote you a letter, and she was representing over 200 students at the school, University Prep. She was like, I'm speaking for 200 students. When I say we miss you, we miss you being here in the classroom with us, helping us and teaching us. I have the email, but I'm kind of like paraphrasing. And it was very heartfelt. And he kept that email. And that was over 2 years ago. And when he sent it to me, I just teared up. I was like, because Jordan never told me. She never told me she sent that email to you, but it was just so heartfelt. So I know how my children felt about you, and they're very grateful. And I'm grateful as a parent that I was able to involve myself, not just with my children, but I was there for everybody, man. I was everybody's father holding the door. Hey, tie your shoes and all that kind of stuff. I was there every morning before I started my day. When I would take my children to school, I would park my car and I would do an hour of service.
That's wonderful.
That morning, before I went and did my outside thing. So I'm very grateful to you. I thank God for what He's doing in your life, and I thank God for the elevation that He's continuing to take you, man. And I wish you nothing but God's best, man.
Thank you. Same, and the feeling is mutual. I want to also thank you. Just what you mentioned, Larry, about coming up to you prep and helping. You don't really get. And we can spend an hour, another hour show. We have a couple of segments with dads are very important in the school. So we really don't have. We talked about parents, coming up to the school, but most definitely seeing the male presence in the school. And I'm just gonna put it out there, as it relates to the Black community, not having fathers in the household. So it's very important to see fathers or men in the school. And, once again, I'd even have a lot of male teachers in the school. So a lot of our students may not even come in contact with the male, or sometimes their interaction with the male is negative because they have a negative, something negative that they may have experienced from their dads. But I want to thank you, even what you mentioned about, Jordan, that I kind of teared up as well. The email that was sent. So Jordan, if you're listening, thank you. I did keep that email because, of course, when I left the school, they shut my email down, so I had to send all of my emails to my personal email. Yes, I want to thank you all as well. I would love to come back on the show.
Absolutely.
I believe we can continue to talk about this. For days.
Absolutely.
So it's very important as it relates to education, our community, and not just our males, but just overall our students in general. So yes.
Shout out to all teachers. Can I just say that? I got teacher friends that are all shout out.
Everybody, all of y'all that's on here, thank you so much. And continue to share this, y'all. Continue to share this even after this show is over on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Continue to share this show. James K. Miller, assistant principal, rapper, producer, Levy Elementary. I'm sorry, Levy Middle School. We're so excited to have you on, and thank you for coming on. And we're definitely going to have you again. We're going to have you again with your buddy. Mr. Bogus, Everybody, next week, my guest is going to be Pastor John Willis. Pastor John Willis is going to be my guest with a special guest appearance of Bishop Andre. You only got to know him to be able to call him Sonny. Now, you can't call him Sonny unless you know him. Bishop Andre Sonny Woods is also going to be my guest on next week's Sunday Throwback. We got something big coming up in November. You all already know. So we're going to have these giants on the show on next week. So make sure that you tune in. But Dr. Miller,
no, thank you. I
bless
love
you,
that.
man. Go get it. Go get it.
Yeah.
Because that's what you are, man. Go get it. Go get it. Everybody, we're going to see y'all next week. God bless you.
Enjoy.
Share this show. This is a crucial show right here. Share it. Blessings to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Orlando Bogans, and I'm the biggest fan of WVTC, winning victory through Christ, Detroit.
This is WVTC Detroit, your award-winning gospel internet radio station. We're bringing you the best in gospel music, live shows, and inspiring interviews. Like and share our page on Facebook and YouTube. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay connected. Your support helps us spread positivity and encouragement throughout the community. So whether you download our WVTC app, visit our website at WVTCDetroit.com, or join us on Facebook or YouTube, you will stay connected and entertained. Join our WVTC Detroit listener family today and tell your friends about us. Together, we can make a difference. WVTC Detroit, where gospel meets the community. Attention, Michigan families. Safe sleep is vital for keeping our babies healthy and protecting their future. Every year, preventable sleep-related deaths impact too many families, especially in our Black and brown community. At WVTC Detroit, we believe that every child deserves a healthy start. That's why Project Healthy Arrival is spreading the word about safe sleeping practices. Remember, babies should always sleep alone, on their back, and in a crib or bassinet with no blankets, pillows, or toys. This helps reduce the risk of sudden infant death syndrome and ensures a safer sleep environment. Our mission is to eliminate preventable deaths and disparities in maternal care across Michigan. Together, we can make sure every baby sleeps safely and every family gets the care they deserve. WVTC Detroit's Project Healthy Arrival is made possible with grant funding from Southeast Michigan Perinatal Quality Improvement Coalition, Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and United Way for Southeast Michigan.
And we will sing the songs of his fame, forever testify of his grace.
Thank you for tuning in to Sunday Throwbacks with Larry Whitfield on WVTC Detroit. Listen, if you would like to become a partner or a guest on our show, please send us an email at lwhitfieldmusic@yahoo.com. That's lwhitfieldmusic@yahoo.com, or call 313-879-9752. That number again is 313-879-9752. We encourage you that God is always in the place, but what you have to do is get him in your space. When you do, your life will never be the same. Thank you for tuning in. See you next week.
The views and opinions expressed on the previous broadcast are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of WVTC Radio Detroit, its advertisers, or affiliates.
Get ready, Detroit! The Gospel Music Workshop of America Detroit chapter presents Women Impacting the World 2024. Join us for an unforgettable concert experience featuring a powerhouse 100-voice women's choir under the direction of Evangelist Sandra Rose, along with Sheila Oden, Sherry Watson Robinson, and Teresa Youngblood. It's all happening Sunday, October 20th at 4 p.m. at the Greater Burnett Baptist Church, 16801 Schoolcraft Road. Oh, and that's not all. We're honoring some of Detroit's finest women, including Commissioner Alicia Bell, Reverend Mother Norma Jean Pender, Bishop Coletta Vaughn, and Dr. Carol Cole, with musical special guests Akita Steen and Fire. This is one concert you do not want to miss, and admission is free. A free will offering will be collected. For more information, visit gmwadetroit.org. Be there and witness women impacting the world.
Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.